I'm Rob Fate, and you're watching Wince, the show that puts a topic into the lip-chapping spotlight of internet deliberation to find out if that topic is a champ or a chump. Or in other words, a win or a wince. Shall we? The subject that was put up for voting on the previous episode was mobile gaming taking over the video game industry. I know, for a lot of you I'm sure this was a topic that fell oddly into the same category as having that birds and bees speech with old mom and dad. And by mom and dad I of course mean the internet. And by birds and bees I mean the time you were going through that awkward stage in your early teens and had aspirations to become a taxidermist and didn't quite get the search results you had expected when asking the World Wide Web how to stuff a beaver. Even though it was a touchy subject, for those of you who did vote, mobile gaming taking over is clearly a win. Naysayers can say what they want, but it's hard to argue with having all of our favorite video games on the same device we make phone calls with. Though, it will be interesting to see if Mario ends up on an iPhone or Android first. The classic bait and switch scam, a ploy used by Venus flytraps, dodgy car dealerships, and older siblings with a secret they want to tell us that instead ends up being a spit-covered finger to our unsuspecting eardrum. The first time I experienced the unscrupulous act of switcheroo in the world of video games was around 14 years ago. It happened during a gaming expo called Space World. Nintendo had a secret they were desperate to share with us, a demonstration for the at the time unreleased GameCube. Legend of Zelda would eventually become the Wet Willy. In 128-bit glory, a battle between a stoic-looking Hylian, garbed in elven green, and a nefarious smoke-olive-skinned antagonist beneath a tight tuft of fiery red hair played out in short order. Instantly, the video hit a sweet spot in the hearts of Zelda fans. Little could we have known, though, just how drastically that 10-second video would graphically differ from the Zelda game Nintendo eventually released, a title known as Wind Waker. Of mice and men, oh Evolution Studios, how great you fit into this discussion. While Evolution's recent wreck of a release, Drive Club, is a classic example of a game not meeting gamers' expectations, that's not the first time this developer has skidded off of the road. Back in 2005, 18 months before the release of the PlayStation 3, Evolution's first foray into the then-gen gaming infiniverse on the PS3 was announced at E3. The gritty rally racer MotorStorm dropped many a jaw. Since gamers didn't have much to go on for knowing what the PlayStation 3 could produce graphically, there was no way of knowing if what we were being shown was truly in-game footage. Nor did Sony or the developer divulge that information to the people of E3 that year. Most of us didn't find out just how badly the graphics had been represented until PS3 demo kiosks started showing up in game stores a month before system launch, a year later. As it turns out, 2005's E3 also showcased another poster child for the wall of game marketing shame. Guerrilla Games, largely known for its Killzone series, gave us a look into the third offering of the franchise with a tasty extended trailer for Killzone 2. While the end of the trailer does use a moniker absent of a sequel designation, not many people would argue that it was clearly meant to be footage of the follow-up to the first Killzone. Maybe Sony and Guerrilla were hoping that time would wash away the memory of the hugely ambitious teaser of the FPS, because it wasn't until 2009 that Killzone 2 even made its way into the hands of gamers. Now I possess a mind that's 3 parts bubblegum and 1 part elastic, but even I can't stretch my imagination into thinking the original trailer and actual gameplay are even close to being similar. It's questionable if the footage from E3 was even rendered on a consumer model PlayStation. In 2006, another major game publisher, Activision, found themselves under the scrutiny of the Advertising Standards Authority in the UK for this blatantly bamboozling commercial for Call of Duty 2. Like Killzone 2, the footage is portrayed from a first-person vantage point, giving the illusion of actual gameplay. With a unified outcry from the gamer community, this shamelessly constructed con was yanked from the British airwaves. Though I'm sure the video still fooled plenty of people around the internet for quite some time. You'd think with today's advanced gaming systems, there wouldn't be a need to continue flaunting fancy fake footage anymore, right? Not so much. Turns out the newest method of hoodwinking comes in the form of what the industry has dubbed downgrading. As has happened recently, next-generation consoles have been released, in turn creating a perfect storm for falsified graphics. Developers who begin working on launch day release titles before new system hit shelves will sometimes present a video of gameplay that showcases graphical features set higher than the console will be able to handle, which is understandable if the console manufacturer hasn't even announced system specifications yet. So how much longer will it be until the world is safe from these annoyances? We are early in the life cycle of the 8th console generation, so maybe the worst is behind us. A sneak peek of the first new Zelda on Wii U, presented by AG Aonuma, has wowed gamers. Okay. That's new. While a rumble of doubt has rattled across the message boards, Nintendo representatives have not only assured us that the footage you see is actual game engine renderings, but also that since demoing us the clip, the graphics are even better. As they say, time will tell. So, bait and switch video game trailers. A phenomenon that keeps the video game market interesting, or false advertising composed by desperate game publishers and or developers trying to make a slick buck. Winner wins. Leave your votes and your comments in the section below, or click thumbs up for win, down for Wince. And remember, be adventurous, be creative, and stay entertained. That wasn't bad, that'll work. That was good.